Hey y'all, it's Brandon with Voodoo Forge. I finally got back around to working on my fire pit stuff, and the first thing I wanted to tackle was my fire pokers. I had a couple of pokers down there and they didn't quite fit the bill, so anyway, I kind of reconfigured one of them to keep the poker but make it where it would work, so let's check it out. This is one of my fire pokers from down at the fire pit. I think this may be the second or third fire poker ever made. So it's 11, 12 years old. Which, there's some neat things about it, but it's really short. It's only about 34 inches, so a couple inches short of 3 feet. But I want to look at it because you can see some of the stuff I did here. It's got a reverse twist, and I chiseled a line in each side. I did all this on a solid fuel forge. It's not an even twist, but we're gonna leave this down at the fire pit. And that right there on the handle, that is a bottle opener. These are little bottle openers, which I made a video on how to make. I'll put it up there. But when I learned how to make them, I put them on everything, and it's not a terrible idea. It's a little awkward, this, but you know, sometimes you gotta get in a bottle. Oh, that's good. It's hoppy. This fire poker, which is also several years old, doesn't work good for the fire pit either. Because it's 5 feet long and doesn't have a hook on the end. So what the plan is here is I'm going to cut a foot off of this thing. We'll make a hook and weld that on. And that way it should be more manageable and a lot more useful. But I'll show you this thing. It's got some neat things about it. This handle right here is a 4-piece braid. I did a video on how to do that. I'll put a thing up there somewhere. But my mentor, we were doing a project where we had to do a mural with wheat, and he didn't know how to do a 4-piece braid. And I did this and left it in his shop, and there was a loop on the end, and he cut that off and he forged it square, and it just ended up in a scrap pile. And after he passed, and I bought some things at his sale, I saw this laying over in a scrap pile and asked the guy who had bought that scrap when we were loading up if I could have it, and he said he could. So I made this poker and put that on as the handle. And then the body of the poker is just 5/8 rebar that was kind of fullered here and there on the power hammer. So yeah, we're gonna make sure we use this, but we gotta fix this end. This is the end in question. Cut it right here, and then forge this to a point, and go from there. Such an insignificant cut. I'm just gonna use an angle grinder. I'm not even gonna throw it in the saw. Go. Oh, there we go. This doesn't have to be a sharp point. I just want to bring it down a little bit. I brought it out and squared it to about where I want it. Now I'm just going to take the corners off. There we go. rebar for the hook. There's not a whole lot to do this. Tapering down a little bit. Just putting about that much hook on it. And that's all we need. It'll get cut off right about there. It doesn't have to be huge. Cut my little hook off and I cleaned the area at the end of my poker here. Let me pop this thing on real quick. Ooh, that's not super good. It'll work though. Yeah, I really should have clamped that. Ooh, that's not super good. It'll work though. That is a little crooked, so I'm going to throw it in the fridge. Remember kids, it's okay to do a crooked welding job if you can fix it. There we go, that's straight. That's all that took. Alright, well there we go. This one is a lot handier now that it is shorter and not 5 foot long. Now I've made a lot of 5 foot fire pokers for burning brush and stuff, but I put a different kind of end on them, and they're for moving brush. It's not for moving a log here and there. So there is a need for longer fire pokers, but my fire pit is not a place for them. But I'm putting both of these back down there. You know, the one that's such an early poker that I made, just kind of as a reference of things not to do differently, but really that size, you know, between 2 and 3 feet, that's really good for a fireplace. It's not really good for a wood stove. You actually want it a little shorter for a wood stove. But this is the current poker situation, and as usual, we had a little screw up we had to fix, but that's okay. It's okay to screw up if you can fix it. So anyway, hope y'all got something out of this and y'all behave yourselves.
Ah, well. That's terrible.
Oh, that's getting cut out. Yeah, I really should have clamped that.
Ah, well. That's terrible.
Oh, that's getting cut out.